Mecosta and Osceola counties have had two economic boom periods. The first was the lumbering era, which had had a great deal of publicity. The second was the oil and gas era, which was overshadowed by the Great Depression of the 1930s and the war years of the early 1940s. With major oil activity in the Mount Pleasant area, it was natural to look at neighboring Mecosta County as a potential oil producer. In January of 1933, James and William Clinton Taggart of Big Rapids put down a test well in Section 11 of Austin Township in Mecosta County, where they had leased 8,000 acres. From this beginning, W.C. Top Taggart was to become known throughout the country as King of the Gas People. Big Rapids natives James and W.C. Taggart started their business by delivering kerosene from the truck around the city. In 1921, they formed the Peerless Oil Company with a small refinery behind 400 North State Street and 115 Hemlock Street in Big Rapids. They built the first service station north of Grand Rapids and owned several service stations and small refineries. In 1932, they sold these interests to Sinclair Refining Company and formed Taggart Brothers Gas Company. After the successful test well in January of 1933, they continued to drill and hit another big well in March. This was followed by 3 more wells, including well number 4 of January of 1934, which flowed 20 million cubic feet. In 1933, the Taggarts built a 9-mile pipeline to Big Rapids and bought the old municipal Big Rapids Gas Company. In early February 1934, natural gas flowed into the city. In January of 1934, the first big pipeline was laid from Austin Field to Muskegon. Later in that year, Taggart Brothers Incorporated was formed with Donald H. Mitchell and Lester F. Ruey of Detroit. The company imported a complete rotary rig from Texas with a crew of old hands. It was steam-powered with 2 75-horsepower boilers. On the first hole, it drilled all the way to gas at 1,307 feet. From then on, Taggart and many others used rotary for shallow gas drilling. Austin Field grew to 123 producing wells. In 1943, Taggart Brothers Incorporated sold the Big Rapids Gas Company and Austin Gas Field to Michigan Consolidated Gas Company, but continued drilling and field development throughout the state. Through 1943, a yard and office were located on East Maple Street, moving in 1944 to the main downtown corner in Big Rapids. Many of the Taggart fields were sold for gas storage. The drilling equipment and related assets were sold on November 1, 1967. Top Taggart died on August 13, 1968. He and his wife Gertrude were remembered for their many contributions to Big Rapids. Acquisition of land for Ferris and development of football facilities, Taggart Hall, conversion of Lincoln School to the Big Rapids Community Library, addition to the hospital, St. Paul's Chapel, renovation to St. Mary's Church, and unaccountable anonymous donations. Although it was dwarfed by the magnitude of the Austin Field development, there was other oil and gas activity in the county. Gas was discovered in Martini Township in 1934. There were 5 producing wells. The largest oil field was the Fork Field, discovered by the Sun Oil Company in 1942. There were 64 wells, 17 in the West Fork Field, in the Dundee, developed by Goff, Smith Petroleum, Gordon Oil, and other independents. All were abandoned by 1969. The Hardy Dam Field had 23 wells. Every township in Mecosta County had some type of oil and/or gas activity. It was a theory of Dr. Donald Katz of the University of Michigan that if rock held gas for thousands of years, it should be able to store gas. Putting this theory into practice, Michigan Consolidated Gas Company developed the Austin Storage Field in 1949. Gas was brought up from Oklahoma's Huckaton Field via a 22-inch pipeline and stored in the shallow gas wells in the Michigan Stray Sandstone about 1,300 feet deep. In 1963, after the purchase of the other depleted gas fields, Austin Fields was renovated, renamed the W.G. Woolfolk Station, and became the hub of the storage system. Into this center, gas comes from offshore Louisiana and offshore Texas, as well as Oklahoma. It is then sent to outlying storage fields in Reed City, Loreed, Lincoln Freeman, Coldwater in Orient Township, and North Hamilton. When it is needed by customers, the gas is withdrawn from storage, put through separators to take out the water and hydrocarbons, and pipelined to sales points. In 1950, Michigan Consolidated Gas bought the Reed City Stray gas field and built a plant similar to the one at Austin. In 1963, having bought up the interest of the Pure, Gulf, and Ohio oil companies, Michigan Consolidated converted the Reed City oil field into the Loreed storage field. Besides gas storage, this involves a secondary recovery of oil from about 100 wells at a depth of 3,800 feet. In this highly successful project, more oil has been recovered than was anticipated, about 700 barrels per day. The Reed City plant included a processing plant where natural gas, propane, and butanes are removed from the oil and sold to Total Petroleum. The plant uses natural gas for some of its vehicles. Since 1985, the operation of the whole storage system has been under the control of A&R Division of Coastal. Also in Osceola County, Michigan Gas Storage Company, a division of Consumers Power, has a gas storage field in Marion. Wolverine Gas Company bought up oil production that Michigan Consolidated could not use. They operate out of the old Pure headquarters with wells in the Reed City and Richfield zones. Recent discoveries of deep gas wells in both Mecosta and Osceola counties hint at possible future oil and gas development. In the meantime, modern technology has turned a depleted natural resource into an important economic benefit to both counties.